Hey everybody, hope everyone's doing good tonight. Yeah, we're finally gonna do the wiring harness for this strife. I'm still working on printing a new solenoid cage, so the solenoid won't be permanently seated in here, but I'm hoping none of this has to be even like hot glue tacked in, so we're gonna try to do this super clean. Hello, Mr. Fox and Neo Seeker. Good to see you here. Yeah, I've been thinking about doing this all day, so I'm just kind of gonna jump into it. So that I can get this done, and then I can run some testing on the blaster this week before stuff goes completely upside down, and then I'm gonna be at UMBC before I realize it, which is kind of wild to think about. Now if this goes really fast and we want to, which I doubt it will because it's doing modding work on a live stream, that always takes more time. If it does go super fast, I might think about taking a little break to change camera angles around, and we can do a suit up and talk about the rest of the loadout instead of just the primary blasters. Sorry. Squad Discord is doing things tonight, apparently, so I'm trying to keep my phone on hand. So yeah, I'm just gonna lift this out, though I'm gonna have to move. I really want to run the Crooked Cousin, but the for some reason doesn't want to run right now. That's weird. Never had to do that before. The Prime handle is getting in the way of my magazines, so that might have to be something I play with, and maybe just relegate to only running on the links, which would kind of be a bummer. So last time we set our 3 switches in, I need to desolder this MOSFET board, so I'm probably going to start there. The soldering iron is nice and warm. It's not hot. So I think I'm going to start by going through and desoldering any connections I don't need. I don't need this because I'm leaving the voltmeter off this build. And then all that's probably... Okay, so I need to desolder those 4 joints. And then we're going to start where every wiring job should start, which is at the battery lead. And we have a battery all charged up and ready to go. So, desolder gun. I don't have my helping hands with me, which is going to make this a lot more fidgety, because I'll only have 2 hands to do it with. And so there will definitely be parts of this that are hard to see, and I'm gonna end up a pair of needle nose pliers like right here. But no, this will be great. Gonna end up using things like these spring pliers to substitute. Probably all stream, which again is not ideal, but it's what I got. I'm just gonna figure the rest of it out. That works. Okay. totally don't like that being in my left hand. Wow. It's giving me all sorts of the heebies of the jeebies. Put this right here. Put her bucket. Yeah. All right. That, yes, much fewer heebies and jeebies now. Come on. So yeah, this is going to be a little bit of me just focusing really hard while I make sure I'm careful desoldering these joints, because I need this MOSFET board. I don't have a spare. I mean, I could always, I do have some 25, 20, 22, 25, whatever amp switches. So if I do burn out this board, we can swap to that, but I would rather keep the extra durability a MOSFET allows for. There it goes. Choo! Wire's hot. Oh, there are freaking those pliers. I'm getting the feeling that I may have messed up on this one. Look at this. Aha! Just thinking, I could really wish these pliers had rubber tips to the fingers, and well, I have electrical tape right here, so I can just make them have rubber tips. I promise I'm usually not this bad at soldering. I am just a little out of practice and don't have all my tools. Which makes a lot of things notably harder with just electrical work. But you know, we have a functional blaster at the end of stream, all the jankiness and all the sketchiness will be forgiven. This soldering iron is awesome. It's super small and light, so it's really easy to control. And it's super easy to adjust the temperature. Also works really well for doing heat inserts on printed blasters. The printed parts in general. Just a little. Come on. Come back to you. Why didn't I just order another one of these microboards? This is gonna be annoying. But hey, we'll get it done. There we go. Come on, you drop out again. Ah, there we go. That's what we want to see. Just clean up this blob a little bit. Solder out of that hole. Four connections that look like that. So I did do some work off camera. I did the little bit of through hole cutting on the stock we were gonna need. I also did some design updating for both the body kit and the battery box for this strife. Neither of which we'll see tonight because they both need to be printed. Had a nasty nozzle clog yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. It kind of messed up one print thoroughly and threw off my schedule. I hope everyone can hear me okay, and I was just speaking to the void. Thought I made sure to check everything before I started the stream. Alright, these connections are not wanting to come out. They're really not. Alright, I'm gonna put that to the side for right now. I'll dig through my electronics bag and see if I've got. I don't think I do. I think I just have switches, which again, one of these Omrons should handle this just fine. Yeah. I think these should handle it just fine. And I've put, these switches and blasters before, but again, just hoping to have the little bit extra reliability of the MOSFET, but that I don't want to force. I don't want to force it down. I definitely don't want to burn and actually burn and destroy that. So, yeah. Let's see what we're looking at mounting wise though, because that is a question. Yeah. Yep. Okay. It's gonna take a little putty work later, but we can change directions to that. We just gotta get this pen out of here. Yeah, we can do that. We've just got to. I'll be here hanging out, currently door dashing. Well, glad you're on your grind. I'm sorry tonight's probably not gonna be too entertaining, but I'm sure better than the cold, dark silence of the night. So I guess we'll take it. That sounded way darker than I meant it to. I'm sorry. Okay. Excuse me. So, this is where things get interesting. I actually want to interact with this blaster in a more complete state, since I'm running wires externally. basically, I just want to make an extension plug with an XT60 on either end that goes from our battery, which will be back in our battery box, up to just inside the battery door here, for our power, and then we will deal with the complications of having 2 circuits and whatnot inside our blaster in a moment. Cable management is dog shit. Did test this and it did work, but it was tight, which is something I felt positive about because that meant, yes, we'll be in less danger of having things pull through because it will be under a good amount of friction. And then we actually have 2 holes in this wall. So yeah. Go. That's 1 wire all the way through, and come on, go to your home. You know you want to. Apparently it doesn't want to go to its home. Well, it's not like Easter or whatever. Yep. Can see it. There it goes. To go about it a little differently. Okay, wow, that is actually quite the. Yeah, that's pretty solid. All right, so XT60 connectors are wonderful. If you don't use them, why? Why would you not use them? I need a male. I need a female. Start with a female, right? Just got these ones. I probably got them off of Amazon, but they've got a little protective collar, joint protective collar. Also, as a note, I don't know where my wire strippers are, so we're doing it all with the trusty X-Acto blade tonight. Just a little old school. Alright, the collar on, got that. Alright. It's been a minute, so I have no clue which side is positive and which side is negative. And this connector doesn't say. Help me out. Square side is positive. Square side is positive. So, start by tending my wires a little bit. Sure that's very nicely bundled. Oops. It's nicely into our wire so we get a good connection. So yeah, this is, like I said, a very, very interesting stream of me just slowly rewiring this strife. Already gave up on doing the MOSFET just because I don't have a spare, and that one was going to take a lot of effort and time to relinquish from the grasp of the old battery leads. What did I say? Square end was positive. So, alright. Got my super secret technique for doing XT60 connectors, which is really just me being lazy. I do need a tweezer so I can hold on to this a little bit. So you tend your wire, right? You lay your solder alongside. Honestly, full disclosure, I don't know if this is smart, a good idea, or anything like that, how you should do this, but it works for me. You lay your solder alongside your wire, like this, and then you insert that into your terminal, making sure your wire is stuck as far down in there as possible. And you try, so I want to do it right now, to cram at least a little bit of your solder in there with it. Make sure you hold on to your XT60 because you don't want to heat this too long. I've melted the crap out of XT60 connectors before. Then you heat the solder that will break off, and you just heat that whole bundle until you see the bubble of solder seep in to the gap. So it starts to go there. Definitely want more solder. I'm just gonna get a bubble of it on my iron. Try to get everything involved hot enough that the solder melts and the flux core of the solder helps melt everything together. Oh, but see, and then you melt through your XT60 connector, just like that. So you do it for too long. Perfect example. Now that is garbage. And you pick up another one. I never claim to be good at this. I'm good enough that my blasters always work. It usually takes a second to get there. Maybe 10. This kind of was just a little bit. Just gonna help. Pump a little bit. This feels familiar. I remember getting this kind of bulk pack because I had like 3 or 4 blasters I was wiring all in quick succession. I was like, yeah, I need to get some bulk switches and some bulk XT60s. And then I remember these not being the best XT60s to work with in the world. But hey, live and learn. Use what you got. So you already have it. There we go, that's better. Yes, I'm holding on to the part with my hand right now. It's a little bit of extra feedback to help me make sure it doesn't get too hot. It'll be fine. There it goes. Sets. Oh, that's a little bit too much motion. So that's a great tip I learned when I was first learning to solder, and I've only ever heard it said like 1 or 2 places. Is which is weird to me because it's really helpful. If your joint is like cloudy and looks kind of rusted and already patinaed, then you moved your elements while it was cooling and the solder was solidifying. If it's shiny, then it stayed still, and so it's going to be a better joint and a stronger joint. Yeah, it didn't move. I'm gonna let the plastic cool down for a second. Oh, I'm blanked on the other trick for XT60 connectors. Take a freaking male end and put it in your female end while you're soldering it. Because then it stays aligned. Which, oh man, I melted another one. Oh. Did it again because I forgot that exact thing. Wow, it has really been a minute. Well, I hope this is entertaining, watching me fail a little bit and relearn old lessons while I slowly diminish my XT60 supply. Do that. That, yeah. Now that's ringing some bells. Right. Need to let those insulation on that positive lead calm down for a second. Get our negative lead going. And do the same thing. And just take a tap with solder and 10 each of our receptacle spots. Just a little bit. And there we go. I'm just having a great start to this wiring job. This won't freaking sink in. Better, just a little bit more. This is definitely the first of several, but definitely probably the main joint I don't want to fail. Even though it's probably the easiest one to field service. I don't particularly have the ability to field service electronics with my current kit. Though I'm sure at this event down at UMBC, or up at UMBC I should say, someone will have a soldering iron. That guy. Cool down. So here's our prototype clamshell for our battery tray. I really should try a call it a battery tray. And I think I'm gonna stick with just the simple clamshell. I don't know if I've said it before, but this is I'm trying to make tonight the night that I have both blasters fully functional. The Lynx has obviously been functional. And is breaking in quite nicely. It's breaking in just above 120. It's liking to sit between 110 and 125. And I'd like it if it sat between like 105 and 115. Just so it was very consistently HvZ spec. But there's a little bit more tuning stuff I can do to it. I can start taking grease off of some of the joints, making the seals a little bit worse, but I don't really want to do that because of the barrel length. Squib shots are definitely a thing to be aware of and to be wary of with that low power coming through the Lynx. Obviously it's working. I'm to the point where I've been running 3 or 4 mags through it at a time, and I'll maybe have I usually have 1 squib load, but it's like maybe 2 across 4 magazines, which is 60, 70 or something rounds. I'm not too worried about it just full stop having a squib on every magazine. I think it's getting better. It's getting a little better. Sorry, I just touched the contact on the backside of this. Get this wire shoved in there. This is where handy hands are really freaking helpful. There's just a little bit of tension in these wires right here. You can bring this up. So that, and part of it is the positive lead came through a little bit more. Back. This back a little bit. Fully futzing with that in a second. There we go. That's one to sit in there. Let's just make sure we get a good joint and connection. Also, your daily reminder to not inhale the fumes, kids. I'm in a small apartment. I do have a window open, but yeah, careful with soldering fumes. Not healthy. My little protector clip that should come right up on here. Snap in place right there. Whew, that's toasty. I'm gonna leave that sitting on that plier so it doesn't melt my stock. All right. So the way this basically has to work is this is just an extension lead to right about here where the battery door is gonna sit, right? Right there. From there, I'm gonna have another XT60 joint so that I can pull the stock. I'm gonna locate the XT60 joint on the inside of this door, but that's one screw. Open up, pull it, and then you can pull the stock off. And if something's wrong with the blaster, you're gonna open up this door anyway, because that's where the fire control group is housed. So the first thing I actually need to set is the length on the back end of this, because it is quite the tight space in this battery tray. And again, this is prototype. I've adjusted the fit of these parts since I printed this set, so it will continue to fit better with every iteration. Okay, so there's that side. And I think the answer is really that I can't have too much slack. So let me just go ahead and try to feed back a lot of this lead. Man, I love how good of a friction fit this is. I'm probably just gonna put a tack of some variety in that first gap here, but then I'm not too worried about those wires getting super yanked on. So with that, that's about an inch of lead. Isn't gonna give too much availability of movement, but okay, hold on. I'm about to make these wires live so I can test fit this battery. One leads there, one leads there. They are not touching each other, nor my soldering iron power supply. That would be bad. Tuck that power cable under my leg so it can be stable but off the table. Okay, those are apart, not touching that. All right. And Operation Don't Burn Down My Apartment in 3, 2, go. Nice. That sits up like that. I might need even less lead here. I might just pull all of it out because that's too much slack. This is gonna fit in about like that, hopefully. I don't think it can tuck down in that space. No, but it can go like that. It can live with like that. And if I take that last little chunk of slack out, and this right here is why designing for your wiring channels is very, very much appreciated, and why I'm probably not going to suggest doing this to my future self. This is a pain in the butt, but it also means that this stuff's not going to move, which is a good thing. Alright, so if we're in like that, and then this comes in, am I at danger at popping those soldiers I just made loose? Yes. Am I still gonna cross my fingers and be like, yeah, this is gonna work until it fails? Yeah. Am I proving to not have enough space in my battery tray right now? Yeah. Okay. So something I can do. Stand by. Ooh, that's a little wire that I don't want to pull on. I have these. I have a couple of these. I only have one of the super duper LiPo alarms with the voltmeter, and it will break down what cells on what. I've got this, which is notably smaller. Yep, there we go. 1, 2. 2 cells in the green. That will slide up like that. Okay, so I do think we need a little bit of battery of slack so that this can sit a little flatter. That will go right there. So I really just need a couple more millimeters space in there. Oh wait, this is gonna work great. Cool. Yeah, I'll just give me like, oh come on, be nice. Give me a little bit of slack there, and then I'll go in and add like 4 extra millimeter of width. Not quite enough that I'll be able to notice the extra width up against my shoulder, but enough that I'll appreciate it in getting the battery actually in here. Just gonna give myself enough slack that this can come up and rotate a little bit happier. There we go. Just about that much. Get that right there. And our local alarm right there. How about them apples? I'll take that packaging. We just bring our top half on right there. And we go bop, 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 bop. 3 screws, not going anywhere. Great. Okay. Setting the battery side again. It's a little tweak there. Make a note of that. Pen. Okay, so now we need this back. Look at this. Give us a rough cut. Just like this. It's more than enough. What we need, because again, we want this to be able to fold. And still have slide. Right. So we want just a little slacking and here. Okay, now I need, where's that Warpy? There we go. That's where it's wanting to naturally sit, right on that line. So the back of our XT60 connector is right there, then we are in good shape and everything will be tight. As a note, with all of the electronics package and the inside of this, it is pretty tight, but there's a little more wiggle room than you might expect, which is why, again, I'm hoping I can slim this down a little bit, or maybe just put a slight angle on it so that my stock will fold heavier. I visualize this by dropping that on the floor. I have more, I'll get that later. Yeah, wow, I just royally fucked 2 of those. Sorry for my language. Also, shameless bit of crowd sourcing. Yo, hour late. Hey, glad you got here. You missed very little. You missed me banging my head up against a MOSFET, trying to retrieve it to be used, and then promptly giving up on it. And then we wrestled the beginnings of a battery lead into the stock. So now we are doing a slight bit of measurement for the other end of our battery lead. Figure out where I need to cut these wires. This way I just before I forget. No. It is actually the Worker F10555 stock that's modeled off the H&K G36. But honestly, you could do what I'm doing with this stock with the like the Super Stoker style stocks, what I guess you would call the AK style stocks. which are really nice stocks. You could do this as the exact same thing. In concept, you would just not have this section right here, this kind of key section that's a sling loop. For registration for your box, you'd have to go off of the cambers and fillets. Fillets, that's the what I was looking for. The fillets of the stock tubing to lock yourself in there. So the system would be under more tension. And then you would definitely want to go in and model this kind of door in the side of one of your plates. That is probably the next time I do this kind of build. That is probably where I'm gonna take this. I thought about doing that with this, getting one of those stocks and that's back when I was thinking of leaving my Mark II more as is instead of, and just getting all new parts for this instead of just transferring those parts. But, you know, this cage, the pusher I bought them to be, you know, the portions of my HvZ primary, and, well, the full length Mark II version of this is never going to be my HvZ primary again because I can carry more half darts, which is better for HvZ. Not to mention, accuracy helps you preserve ammunition. So we are cruising right now. I was going to ask y'all, I'm currently looking into the business of print-on-demand t-shirts, making nerdy, funny t-shirts. Are there any in particular y'all would be interested in seeing available for purchase? I'm planning on doing a run of HvZ shirts and Nerfing shirts. I just haven't. They haven't made it to the top of the list yet because I've had stronger ideas for other niches, just organically. But I am planning on doing HvZ shirts and Nerfing shirts in general. Just an open question to anyone who might give it a think. Obviously no pressure, and if you can't think of anything now, you can always hop on Instagram and give me a DM. You can slide on into my DMs. What crush is, I don't know. I've had the cage for a while. I don't know. It hits at 120 FPS with Inferno wheels and Fang revamps. So that. I spent the past 2 days making Formula 1 shirts, which ended up being a lot of sad, kind of shitposty shirts off the Ferrari team because, as a Ferrari fan, I am quite sad right at the moment. As well as some jokes about how well Fernando Alonso is doing this season. Then, of course, the Haas team, because you know, gotta give some love to the American team. Brandon Diaz foam foundry line. I'm not familiar with that. I'll have to give that a Google. Give it a goog. If that's a t-shirt line he did, obviously. Well, I can't do those because he already made them. That's clothing, t-shirts. Okay, yeah, I'll take a glance at them just for inspiration, but I obviously am not gonna take his designs and copy them because, you know, they're his designs. Alright, so I cut the insulation on these wires a little short, and it's too late for me now to get heat shrink in there, so I guess I'm gonna fish some of this stuff up in there. East Coast auxiliary would be cool. Yeah. I figured auxiliary shirts would be easy. Obviously, again, not stepping on anyone who already makes auxiliary merch and whatnot, and obviously not stepping on the captain's toes, but I don't think, I'll have to look if my print provider does sleeve printing. I don't think they do, but I can check. We could also just do like funny Captain Xavier quotes, or just funny Nerf YouTuber quotes in general. Would be fun. Send me some ideas for those. Low there does that do or low there do I see my father shirt with you know, the captain's skull and crossbones over the anti-glass would be nice. That's probably a shirt I'll end up making sooner rather than later. That actually sounds like a really cool shirt. I'll have to look and see what the current state of Captain Xavier and auxiliary merch is. See what gaps can be filled. Who else is East Coast? Boomstick does his own merch. Could reach out to him and see if he wants to partner. I don't think anyone. This shirt does not have an instruct attachment. That would be funny. But then, like, someone would put an instruct attachment point on that shirt to just be snarky. But, like, I'm also kind of okay with that. This is kind of funny. So, what do we do? How about that? That's right where we wanted that to sit in there, though. Just inside, just under a little bit of tension there. What is that? That friction fits really nice. Cool. So this is where things get funky, and the power tools are. I'm gonna actually turn off my soldering iron for a second because I have to do a little bit of shell cutting and wire routing before I get back to that guy. So there's no inch-strike barrel. Like, all right, so I guess we'll do a couple shirts riffing on not inch-strike compatible, because those are pretty funny. On some wire pathways. Pokey. That's not enough. That's not enough. Needle that just says train. I'll ask Chalo about that. He would think that was funny. Oh. Yeah, yep, no, I'll definitely ask the captain about that one. Train. Yep. Oh, I just busted an old solder joint. Boo! You're lame. Do better. Damn it. Man, I just turned off my soldering iron. Yeah, it'll be okay. This guy heats up fast. As much things, just a chance to make a better solder joint. Fair. And looking at it, it's not the solder joint that broke. It was the wire. It was the actual strands in the wire. So this very, very thin wire. It's a good blob of solder in here. I'm just gonna remelt that blob of solder and just poke the wire back into it. It's like this is a joint that should never be under stress, except for right now when I'm opening up the blaster and futzing around with it constantly. Ba-doop-a-doop-a-doo. Yeah. Just see. Whee. Just gonna eyeball and cut a couple lengths of wire for setting down into this channel for my rev. No, not my rev. Wait. This circuit looks different now because it doesn't have a MOSFET in it. I need positive to switch, negative to wheels. Which there's no reason I shouldn't just run negative through here to wheels. And then yeah, okay. It's actually less wires to the joint. Yeah. I'm gonna have y'all just safety squint and look away when I do this Y split at a XT60 connector. It's gonna be the sketchiest thing I do all night. Because the great thing is, I guess while we're waiting on that to heat up, pull the screws back out of my solenoid so we can get this guy test fit in there. Then, stay. Where's that Forsaken cage? There we go. Spring. Saw nothing. If it's janky, it works. It works. Indeed. And of course you saw nothing. I haven't done it yet. It is just going to be the weirdest part of all this. The way I'm thinking about doing it right now shouldn't be too bad. It's just a matter of doing it without handy hands. It's gonna be a pain in the ass. But if the way my brain is telling me to do it in this moment works out all the way I think it's going to, it's gonna save me a lot of wire, a lot of like yardage of wire, or I guess inchage of wire running through this blaster shell. That guy goes in there. Forgot to trim this wall down for the solenoid pusher. That's annoying. Yeah, I just eyeballed this. Let's see how Much of a wizard I am. Get owned, Harry Potter. Just eyeballed those cuts. Get freaking pwned, my guy. Okay. Like I said, there will be a lot of back and forth and shell together, shell apart. Oh, I've also got to do that. All right, eyeballing cuts part 2. The wizard. Well, we're about to find out. Well, besides the plastic hitting me in the face, which is what eye protection is for. Oh, hey, look at that, sitting right in front of me. Eye protection. How smart am I, guys? Not quite. Okay. So better than the peaked in high school Chad Harry Potter, but not quite as good as the absolute unit of a beast that is Hermione Granger. There's less Hagrid. Yeah, that's good enough. It's just this side I really want to look at with this. So, yeah. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a positive lead and a negative lead, or a male lead and a female lead rather. And we're gonna line them up to do this and just bridge this gap. And then we're just gonna T-splice off in between. Or no, I'm not gonna do that at all. I mean, I am gonna do that, but this comes in between. This goes like this. Somehow, or I will strive to remember how to do the God tier cable management. Doing this all in the strife show. Man, Mark III is gonna be a bespoke blaster. Designed for me, for these internals, where nothing so janky. Looking back, I can't believe I used to play HvZ. Why would you? Nope, no thank you. I will pass. I will pass go, collect my $200 and end my turn. I will not. No, I would not. I would not do anything involving Nerf blasters without iPro. Well, that's not true. I used to have a lot of basement wars with no iPro. If you prefer 3S to what you use, like the graphene. So I run 2S, though this system, well, now that I've taken that MOSFET out, not so much. This system should be able to take 3S just fine. I don't remember, I know I tried it on 3S back when I had the Mark II built and running. Maybe check old videos on the first video on my channel for those numbers. Yeah, okay, that idea's gonna work. It's just gonna take you. Get it in there. I like these Turnigy graphenes just great. They last really well throughout the day. They have a really nice C rating, so our ridiculous draw motors don't swell them up and burn them out, which is a great thing to have. So here's the idea. Get 1, 2, 3, and then I'll look for the fourth, and then need the fourth wires. And we go. This is where I might just start building. Hey! Ooh, sorry to hear baby crying. Hope they're okay. Thank you. And hopefully it will be. Like I keep saying, I'm excited to go. Hope everyone's okay. Hope you have a good night. See you next time. Making myself a bit of a wire channel. Yeah. Hey guys, remember when Hasbro used to put so many locks on their blasters that like it was a whole like tier of modding to just take out the locks, and there was all these supporting walls and whatnot inside the blaster shells that like held all these different components in place. Whatever happened to that? Now we can't even get freaking springs in our blasters. Snark, done. Here's a janky trim. Should not affect much. Yeah, that'll be just fine. I think I cut a long enough section of wire. Except I did. Because this doesn't have to be nearly so long. I need slack out the top. So this is where things get weird again, because I think I need to make my motor end connection. Yeah. And then build back towards that complicated joint. And then the solder joint I broke and improperly forgot about. Let's just fix you very quickly. Yeah, like one of the first mods I did was a lock removal on my Alpha Trooper Skirnir. Like, those were good times when life was simple. Come on, just give me a little solder. I set it up. No. Just run through. There we go. Also, remember when people would complain about the modulus because it wasn't quote-unquote as comfortable as the strife? And that was the complaint they had about the Hasbro blasters? It's like, oh, it's not quite... It's different than the thing we already have, and now we're like, hey, can we get something that works? Like, out of the box and doesn't break itself? And shoots, you know, your classic ammunition, not rival? Because the rival stuff continues to be good, which is good. Oh my gosh, I need hand cans. Please. Dear God. Hold this wire in relation to something. Or don't. Okay, there's that. Bring that to the side. I need to do should be a male lead. Where's my flywheel cage? It was sitting right there. Okay. Shut up. You can't laugh at yourself. It's just sad. So where's like the Mark III? Yeah. I mean, wait. Baby 10 to 2, and we're back. Well, thanks for rejoining, I guess. We have Dartzone. That is true. Dartzone does good stuff. Worker does good stuff. I haven't messed with any game face products, so I cannot comment there. I still wish there were more flywheelers like the Mark III. Yeah, flywheelers are hard to do on the shelf because the batteries you want to use high draw rechargeable batteries. Like lipos are a wonderful battery chemistry for what we ask of them. And like, yeah, you can do nickel metal hydride, but they're really heavy and not as good as lipos because you can't get quite as much draw. You can't get quite as high of a draw rate out of them. So like that kind of stinks. But yeah, it'd be cool to see more flywheelers made with our hobby in mind. Cause it's so cool that you can, and like I say this and I haven't done it and I've wanted to do it and try them out, but just haven't. You can just go to Target or Walmart and get a super stock competitive, if not competitive tier competitive blaster out of the box, which is just wild to think about. Especially like thinking back to the day where like if you had a Springer primary, you either put a pump kit on, you either had an Alpha Trooper, you put a pump kit on a Retaliator, or you modded up a long shot. And like, we have come so far since then. A lot of printed five-wheelers, yeah, but it's the getting them off the shelf that's so cool, and to have the first party, to have our hobby be acknowledged by a first party company like Dart Zone is so cool. Especially when they actually interact with us and come to our events and whatnot. So I have my yellow Alpha Trooper and Barricade stock. Yeah, that's that's basically what mine is, but it's the Elite. I got the Elite Blue with the I think he's still got a Stockade or a Raiders stock. Stockade. The Nerf buffer tube style stock. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head right now. Okay. That feels like a really good idea right in this 2 seconds, but I'd rather not solder on top of my precious limited edition flywheel cage. That I really don't have time to get replacement parts for. But again, I kind of need this blaster function at the end of the night because I have to work all day tomorrow. Well, I guess Sunday. But see, my people want to play D&D on Sunday, and I'm like, I don't know if I have the spoons to prep a session. But if they want to play, I'll figure it out. That's what DMs do. Yeah, it's such a good stock. Thoughts on the Mark IV coming up? It looks cool. I mean, I haven't looked into it much. It looks like a simpler version of was it the Mark 1.5? That was the, or was it the Mark 3? I think it's the 1.5. That's the red Target Nexus Pro time release. I don't love the aesthetics of it. The really long, kind of chunky bulbous barrel. I really hate the pump grip that gets on it. That's the thing that killed that. Tabletop Tuesdays. Yeah, we did Sundays because our work week with my company was Tuesday through Saturday, so Sundays were always the day we all were free. Number 4, I really dislike the pump grip. I want to see someone put a more inline style pump grip, like a AFG pump grip on it. Because I mean, I don't love how long it is, but I also like strangely don't hate it either. And I think it could look really good. But like, I'm sure the performance will be about the same as the others. But the ergonomics look okay. So I'm really just kind of like stuck on the looks. Because the performance will be fine. And like I said, the ergo looks fine, so it's gonna come down to, can I build it to look and feel the way I like or not? We moved from 5e to something called Nave. I'm not familiar with it. I still run 5e because it's the system I learned to DM on, and I don't have a lot of time to do prep work right now, and so I've been slowly running my a group of friends through Waterdeep Dragon Heist. But they have done some really fun things. My favorite thing that happened was they of course adopted a goblin from like the second encounter, and decided that he was going to be their butler, or their kind of doorman for the tavern. And I said, okay, you can do that. And then we're playing with the Castellaners. If any of my players are watching, stop right now. So like, stop. We're playing with the Castellaners as the big bad, the big bads. So I had them get visited by the Castellaners and ask them, and have the Castellaners offer to be patrons of the party and of the establishment, because I always think it's fun to give the party the opportunity to be the baddies, or at least to work for the baddies and then realize they work for the baddies, because I always find that narrative to be fun. Not that I think I've ever had a party actually take the option, but it's usually there for my parties. I usually have a player who's like, hey, can I do something? And so like I actually we had a player join in, so I worked in that she's a spy for the Castellaners. But, and most importantly, I had the Castellaners drop a cursed dagger to the goblin. And so he's been slowly doing things in the cellar to level up in Warlock, as they've just not been going down to the cellar much, or like not really been paying much attention. So he's now, the party's level 3, he's now level 4. And the party just discovered that he took a patron down to the basement and flayed them alive to summon a demon. And they are freaked the ever-loving fudge out. YouTube. I try to make kid-friendly content, I promise. And so that's fun. And so I know a couple of them want to try to play tomorrow. We'll see. Or Sunday, rather. We'll see if I can make it work. Started with AD&D in 2nd edition. Wow, yeah. I didn't start playing till 2019. And then played a lot during COVID and college. So I probably would qualify as a young whippersnapper. I want to try either 3.5 or Pathfinder 2e. Should people keep hearing things about how they're much more fleshed out systems, much more crunchy systems. And I would enjoy that. I'm not sure all my players would enjoy that, but I would certainly enjoy that. Still looking like I'm a little short on wire length right here. Which, I mean, frankly isn't the end of the world, because the bit of circuitry I just built is quite useful for future builds. Oh man, it's 10:40. No wonder I'm getting tired. Oh. I'm gonna keep chugging along. See where we get. Yeah, I just need like another inch on those. Where's my stock? Yeah. I was leaving everything within arm's reach. It's just on the far end of arm's reach. That might just work. I like low crunch personally. More, yeah. Yeah, I tend to lean very roleplay heavy in my DMing style, especially with new players. I tend to go over their abilities with them and just keep them pulled up for me, but just be like, just tell me what you want to do. and tell me what you do, and we'll figure out the gaming system portion of it in a minute. That's like that's future problems. That's not right now problems. And it tends to work well for me. People seem to like my games just fine, and I certainly enjoy running them, so can't complain on that account. It's a matter of time and effort more than anything. That's why I've been kind of slow. Mostly been playing every other week since, I don't know, November, December. The Founders 2 is a great format for Crunch, though. Yeah, I just think it'd be fun to try a different system and to just see what that would do to my game and treat it as a learning experience, you know. There's not really any wrong way to play these games, so it's sometimes fun to just experiment. I also would love to get to be a player character again at some point. It's been a while. I also have the brain to be a rules lawyer, so I can deal with a rules dense game. I mean, I play 40k. Or let me rephrase this. I started collecting 40k. I committed to collecting 40k during 9th edition. So in 2009. Wow! That's incredible. Is it still one continuous story with the same core, or at least the same arc development of characters, or is it the same setting that's just developed through a couple of campaigns, kind of like Exandria with Critical Role? Just curious. And I know us nerdy types like to talk about our things because they're so cool. Also doing D&D shirts at some point, so if you have ideas for those too, let me know. Get in there. Same world, same characters show up, but some characters have retired to NPCs. Yeah, that's awesome. We share DMs. Ooh! So I'm DM for one arc, and then my friend does the same, and there are 4 of us that are... That's amazing! That sounds like such a good... That sounds like an amazing gaming group you've got there. I am jealous. Oh. I started as the DM because I was like, I started watching this Critical Role thing because I didn't know what D&D was, and I felt like I was nerdy enough to need to know, and it's really cool and I want to try it. Will you all play for a one shot with like my old friends and my girlfriend at the time, and we had a blast, and that one shot became a 2-year running campaign, and in that time I think all but 2 of the players had DM'd at some point, but I'm pretty sure Well, I'm not sure about my now ex-girlfriend, but of those I know about, 2 of us still DM. And I would bet my girlfriend at the time. I would bet she still DMs too. She was a good DM. I miss my character from her game. He was such a dumbass. He was a paladin of the sea god, but he had a tendency to drown. Okay. You're currently dealing with a wizard who fixed himself with the world itself using planet for mana. Ooh! Oh, that's cool. That's a fun conundrum to deal with, because, like, how the hell are you supposed to deal with that? Yeah, that's a hard one. Whew. That sounds like a lot of fun. Oh man, yeah, I miss being a player character. I haven't gotten to be a PC in like 2 years. Since I went back to school full time post-COVID. My favorite thing I've ever done as a DM. Yeah, I think this is true. My favorite thing I've ever done as a DM was have a player character join, become a low-level archdemon as one of the horsemen of Bane. So I used to run games in Alexandria in the Wildmount book. It's a fun setting. Yeah, and so on his last session, because he was graduating, and so he wasn't going to be with us for, next semester's chunk of story. And like, we had talked, and he had decided he wanted to end up being a bad guy. And so we roleplayed the whole thing of him turning a Pegasus into a nightmare and him bonding into a magical pair of by tearing its wings off and forging this pair of spurs that let him control his new mount. And the original plan was for him to be the big bad for the next semester's arc of campaigning, but I think for several reasons. I think we just wanted to have a bit of a restart. I think some people were unhappy with their characters. It was a lot of people's first characters, so we just did a little restart, and we did just a little short campaign for my last year in college. Still very fun. That character who sacrificed himself will end up in another one of my games at some point. It just hasn't happened yet. Demon doesn't in Flyman. And his shtick is that he always shows up in jail, and he always trades his freedom for a wish. Oh. That's fun. I like that. But like, yeah, no, I like that. That's fun. It's lighthearted, and it gives your players access to something incredibly powerful and useful, which is hard to get your hands on. A friend to come back to life in exchange for someone else dying. So the prince of the region died. Oh man, that's... I mean, yeah, to be fair, as a DM, that's something like I would do, or I would do like somewhat, an NPC who's important to the characters. But Yeah, that's probably the same route I would have gone as a DM, to be fully honest. Yeah, you obviously make that a plot point, right? Oh, my other favorite thing I did with my original campaign started as a one shot. Then I did like a 3-4 session arc. And part of that was I thought it would be fun to just throw in a random encounter, and I rolled up like a pair of a little Kinku family, a father and a daughter, were getting attacked by something, bullets or Gricks or something. And so, you know, the party rocks up, and the dad ends up dying, but the daughter survives, and so of course they adopt this little Kinku and bring her along. And when this was over the course of a summer, and so when we were all thinking we were going to be done, I just for the lulz had given them a deck of mini things, because like of course you give them a deck of mini things, you gotta have some fun. But they had the little girl draw, and she drew the Flames card, which means that a devil hunts you down. So I started when we decided we were gonna keep playing. After that, I decided to do a little research on some devils to make this a good story arc for us, and I stumbled upon the wonderful beast known as the Rakshasa. And this wonderful little tidbit of lore that states that Rakshasas are fascinated by and to an obsessive point with humanoid flesh and indulging themselves in consuming strange and different humanoid fleshes. And so long story short, I had this Rakshasa that the party was invited to join their monster slaying organization. When they went to complete their like final tests along with some other adventuring parties, great fun kind of contest sessions. When they did their last one, which was just go out and, you know, do a contract, and you know be back if you can do it by this date, you know, whatever, you'll be allowed admittance. The organization, of course, offered to house the young one and take care of them while they were off completing this mission. Well, the Rakshasa had quite the young and tender morsel for dinner at the banquet. That party was pissed at me forever. But it was such a good narrative, like holy shit moment, and then such a good fight to kill the Rakshasa afterwards. The next session was so much fun. So much fun. Given us safe travel on a sailboat. However, he did mention that it meant that anyone who we passed on the ocean would sink. So we became hated by sail. Oh, that's cool. That's a fun one. Oh yes, take this sailboat. It'd be wonderful for your journeys and for your exploits. Becomes most hated ship's crew on the seas. Not even pirates, or I don't know if they were pirates. Sounds like a pretty great reason to fight. Oh my gosh, it was great. They were so mad. Like I said, my girlfriend at the time her character was very connected to the little Kenku girl. Oh, she was so mad at me. It was so worth it though. Yeah. And yeah. And then I was kind of sad where it left off, because if I remember correctly, one of the, knowing nothing about the setting with the, I don't know if you know anything about Wildemount as a setting or any of the lore, but there's a Wizarding Academy that has a clandestine portion that creates very zealotous super soldiers, for lack of a will to give a long explanation of the Volstrucker. But before she knew anything about the setting, she had written about this brother her character had, who was very talented in the arcane arts and was taken away to a school. Again, these are some of my favorite players I've played with. This player is also I believe still continues to DM and has a wonderful talent for writing beautifully open-ended backstories that give the DM a lot to work with, which is much appreciated by all of us. And so I had just reintroduced her brother, who was sent to track down one of the other party members who wanted to be from the Wizard 101 universe. So that was fun. Yeah, it's good stuff. I missed that game. That game was good. Maybe, like, all in all, my favorite complete game I've DM'd, just because we were all so new to it, and so we all just tried a bunch of random stuff and had fun with it. Yeah. D&D is so great. I hope, I've talked to my friends. I think I've mentioned this last time, I'm about to not, this heat shrink's too small. I'm about to not live in the same state for more than 3 weeks for the next 2 months, because that's how my summers do. So I'm like I said, I'm get to go to UMBC, which is really exciting, and then hopefully at some point this summer I'll be able to make it to another event. Wait, I'm setting myself on fire. Doing something stupid. Tabletop games or other advice aside from probably. Yeah. Same. D&D and role-playing games are kind of where my heart is. I love Warhammer 40k. When I moved down here after college, I kind of put aside nerfing because I knew it was going to be hard for me to get to events. But doing something like this is very important for my mental health. Doing the creation acts, you might say, is very important for my mental health. And so I picked up Warhammer full time, like actually collecting. And I'd played, proxying paper models with my little brother and a friend of ours a couple times. Always had a good time. Barely ever win. I've barely won any games of Warhammer. I think I've won 4 across like 2 years. But you live and you learn and you pray that you get better. But I picked up painting to kind of fill the void of modding, as far as like my mental health and my need to do something with my hands, make something with my hands that takes focus. And it was great. It was really good for a little bit. And sorry, I'm just having a moment. Yeah, okay. I just had a moment of like, wait, did I mess up? Or am I about to mess up? But I'm not. So yeah, I love tabletop gaming. I like tabletop gaming a lot more than video gaming. So hey, if anyone's at UMBC and like Friday night is down for a game of Warhammer, let me know and I'll bring my custodes. Including headless, half-painted Trajan Valoris. Who I should really finish before I have to box him up for 2 months. Maybe later. Maybe on a later stream. I play online now with my friends since we all live in different states. Yeah, I'm talking to my current game about playing online over the summer, so we can keep playing on and off. And then, I mean, currently I actually don't know where I'm going to be in the fall, but if I'm back here, obviously we can just keep playing in person, and if I'm not, we can keep playing online. But again, that's kind of just the way my life goes. So goes with the profession I fell in love with. Okay, I'm definitely not giving that up. I think so. I don't know. That seems right. I vaguely remember watching a stream of him like batch painting a bunch of models a while ago, like maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago. It's fun. I'm excited for 10th edition 40k, because 9th edition is freaking ridiculous with the rules bloat. And with how kind of like things are either really strong or really not, and it's kind of frustrating. And I play Custodes. I play Henry Cavill's army. Everything I do should be super strong, and then like I never win. But I think that has more to do with me and the fact I'd rather play a fluffy game and, you know, honorably charged to take the field of battle and all that nonsense than like, maybe I should screen out my back line so that, you know, that squad of 20 or that squad of 10 orc knobs doesn't get jumped into my back passage and then just roughs me up from behind. Now run my Sagittarium forward. That's the most recent. That's actually something that happened in the most recent game I played, and I got stomped. I got stomped like 54 points to 20, and I only had my bike captain left on the table. I had my warlord left on the table at the end of the game, and I was like, you know what? We don't need to play turn 5. I'm gonna concede right here. Thanks for the fun game. He's gonna fly away now. He's gonna fly away and fight another day now. Of course. For Christmas, I obtained the ever honorable Captain Commander Trajan Valoris, who is the one of I think 3 named characters in my faction. He is quite good, but I have not. As I've mentioned on, I believe, every stream since I started streaming again, I have not finished painting him. But maybe that'll be like a So, because here's the timeline. Wednesday night, my brother is coming over from Greenville to help me pack up my apartment. Thursday, we move my apartment into a storage unit, and then I start the drive up to Maryland. Friday, I would drive to Maryland, then do an UMBC. And then I drive to North Carolina, drop my nerfing stuff at my parents' house, and then run to the Greensboro airport to fly to New Hampshire. So this might be our last stream. There will probably be one Sunday, because I would really love to do one about doing drill. And while I'll be drilling probably every night this week, so that I have some muscle memory to rely on, I would really like to do that. I think that'd be a lot of fun for me and y'all. It's not something that gets talked about a whole lot. We kind of get the advice of like, you should practice in your gear. Great, what does that mean? And I think it'd be fun to show y'all what and how I practice. Especially since I'm gonna have 2 brand new blasters in which I need to learn how they like to be run. Yeah, that's yep, that's the way the news goes. When there's a ballet company that is hiring me to dance for them for 3 weeks. They need a spare guy for a production of Beauty and the Beast. So hi, I'm a spare guy. Yep, and then it's straight from there up to California for yet another gig. Yep. So like I said, I'm very, very glad that I'm getting to go to UMBC. Because there's a high likelihood it's the only nerfing I'm going to get to do for another year. The most important drill, in my opinion, is reloads. There's a video of me on Facebook somewhere, I think in the like Nerf Tactical Gear Facebook group, of me doing a reload in like 2020, like during lockdown when I was bored and starting my YouTube channel, with like a 1.4 second split time on a reload, which is a really cool thing to be able to do when fighting zombies. Because it means you're the time in which you are not helping defend your humans. Oh, I just broke that battery door. Yeah, I don't think this harness is gonna work. Which is fine. I already see a better way to go about this. I can recover some of this. Adapt, improvise, overcome, all that jazz. Intro. Yeah, reloads. Muy important. Yeah, drills, we can definitely do some drills. It's mostly reloads and then just like existing in your gear. like literally just put on your gear for an afternoon and do your normal stuff. Especially if you know you're gonna be home for an afternoon. Because you'll learn how big you are in your gear, and you'll learn how you can move in your gear and how you can't move in your gear. And so you'll be a lot less clumsy. And you'll feel a lot less cumbersome by just existing in your gear. And if I wasn't like shell cutting and dealing with glues and soldering and stuff, I would sit here in my gear and do this, because doing little things, fine motor things in your gear is good practice too. Yeah. Sorry, just opening up a different way for me to route these wires. So that, yeah. Have a little more forgiveness in the system. I need this to actually go down that way. Right. Cool. Just do this then. Again, massive show work and integration work. You don't really need power tools. You know, everybody should have just a drill for doing stuff around your house. Make yourself a pilot hole, get an X-Acto knife in there, make sure it's sharp, and try not to cut your fingers. Which I am not the best champion for. I know, but I try. What other drills would y'all want to know about? See me run through. Reloads, transitions. Probably just be a pretty big just talking head stream, because I'll probably go rambling on biomechanics and theory and slow is smooth and smooth is fast and all those things. So could be good. I'm pretty sure I have some videos, on the channel about reloads, and of course I've got a whole series on loadout construction that I made pretty early in the channel's existence, but I think they still hold up. So again, they're mostly talking head and me talking theory, and not about like use this specific thing, because that's not all that helpful. Oh, room clearing? You can't do that on your own. I mean, okay, you can do it on your own. You should not do that on your own. Yeah, and I mean, hey man, I went to arts college. I'm not a soldier, I'm not a policeman, I'm not qualified on those topics. I've done research on these things because I find them interesting and entertaining, and so I try to learn about them. there are some good resources out there for that kind of thing, though. Again, slow is smooth, smooth is fast. Be careful. It's really easy to overlook someone crouched up in a corner behind something you forgot to look behind. You know, it's with anything, and honestly, watch the auxiliary training primers on HvZ movement and stuff. They've got great advice about HvZ stuff. HvZ indoors is very, very deadly. I once wrote a mission, just like a one mission game for an HvZ at my high school, that we ran the game at least 20 times over the course of a day, and I think 8 humans total survived, much less completed the win condition, just because we were playing inside, and you know, close quarters favorite the Zeds, so stuff gets deadly. Radio cues. Yeah, I could pull up the because I need to review those too. The again, most of what I would talk about is going to be kind of auxiliary based because that's who I run with. But yeah, auxiliary cues and commands. I mean, the main thing is there is, and for our purposes, radios aren't super important, and they're also not super useful. For most people. I mean, really, if you're in a big a big group like the auxiliary, you know, one person per squad needs a radio. You know, I mean, I have a Baofeng on my HvZ kit because, you know, I do run with the auxiliary, and comms are important, but they're not important for everybody. I have one because I never know what event I will be going to, and if I will know people, and if I will have a squad. And so I'd like to be available to jump into any role, whether it be, you know, like for UMBC, I'm just going as an infantryman for Morox, but you know, am I gonna be a squad lead? Am I gonna be, you know, scout, hunter, whatnot? Am I going to just be online? Am I going to be, you know, we're a feral squad. So yeah, I can do some radio cue stuff too, because I need to review those too. Stuff gets so hot when you're soldering. Look at me getting to reuse a part I'm abandoning. Parts of the part I'm abandoning. Yeah. It's also hard for me to do room clearing stuff with my current setup, like in this apartment, because this apartment's so small you won't be able to see much of anything. I'm gonna have to go move around stuff in my bedroom, so I can have open space so you can see my whole body. And not just my piles of junk. Yeah, radio cues. Yeah, just honestly, just get a battle buddy and get a system between you two about, like, hey, what do I need to know at any given moment? What are our emergency calls? You know, the easiest ones being reloading up, or rather reloading. Your battle buddy should call out covering, and you call up, which yeah, I went to one event back when I was drilled on my kit and didn't decide to rebuild it for a singular event, which is where I'm at right now. I called reloading and up. I had finished my reload before the words reloading were out of my mouth. So I just said reloading up. And no, I'm not a floating torso. I am a rather lean and lanky entire human being whose legs are very mad at him right now. Should say I worked hard today. And tomorrow should be my last shift at this restaurant, and it's a Saturday, so it's a long one, and my legs are going to die. Alright, I'm done fiddling with that guy. I'm starting to get tired. I want to have this at least mostly wired by the time I quit. Cool. Half salvaged. Counts. Basically just, I'm right now repeating steps I have already done. There's not enough wire on these spools to deal with the bulk of these spools anymore. I've had these spools of wire for years. I think almost, maybe every single electrical mod I've done has been done with this spool of wire. That's what's nice about buying in bulk. Real human being, indeed. Orientation's gonna be like that. Yes, like that. So I've got what, a male lead coming in from, where's my slide? Wow, I am losing things now. Yep, male lead coming in. So this needs to start on the female lead. Yeah. Yep. Real overworked 20-something human being. I have like no feeling in my fingertips tomorrow morning. They're gonna be burnt off. Yeah. Did our music quit out? Or can I just not hear it? Hold on. music quit? There we go. Yeah, I don't know what that was good for. I feel like this was not the best way to do this. It's pretty stuck in there. I know it's not all seated down in there, so let me just try to fill this with solder. You go, Bobo. Down in there. You're all sucked up in there. Ah ha ha. Now you want to fall loose. You're falling into my trap. I'm sure this is very entertaining as I'm hunched over this tiny little thing trying to get it to, there we go, seat nicely. Alright, that's pretty good. Here's a break. How long have we been going at this? 2.5 hours. Damn. Damn. Yeah. It's quite a hell of a time. We're still not close to having this blaster functional, but you know, these things happen, and you gotta be patient with them, or else they're just kind of annoying to do. We're back on the, feels like Nintendo 64 music on this playlist. Alright. Which one was better? Let that cool. As impatient as I am to be at a stopping point tonight. But like, to be fair, once I get the power leads wrapped up, which is what I'm trying to get done for tonight, once I get battery power distributed to both circuits, I don't need to have both circuits finished. I'm going to deal with the rev switch at a later date. However, the later date is probably either late tomorrow night or Sunday with you all wonderful people. Which then would put us at like a, heck, maybe we do a little streamathon and do Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, depending on how everything else down here in Columbia goes. But Monday, Tuesday streams for drills seems doable. So let's try for that. Come on. That doesn't seem to work. I guess something I should shout out is if anybody knows of any events this summer that are, you know, open invitationals, quite possibly literally in the US, anywhere, send me the details, and I'll keep my eyes open for ones I can slide into. Nerf Rival Blaster, alright, I'm ergonomically, feel-wise, shell-wise, I've always been a fan of the Zeus. The original Rival Blaster. Out of Darts' Jupiter is super, I guess you did say Nerf. But Out of Darts' Jupiter is very much also one of my favorites. It is so, you know, what you would expect from a hobby grade designer, but it's clean and efficient, and it does exactly what it needs to do and nothing else, and I really appreciate that in a design. I'm trying to think what else. I really love what people have been able to do with the single shot pistols. So the Knockout, and what's the newer one, is it the Pilot? I love those for the creativity they've given us as a community. Yeah. It's funny, the Nemesis, Prometheus, Perseus lineage, I am not a fan of them and their individuality. I'm kind of salty about the whole planned obsolescence thing in those blasters, and well, the Perseus is probably the best of the three. I'm too long and lanky for that blaster. so I don't. It's not a comfortable blaster for me to wield, and so it doesn't make my list for those reasons. But and the Nemesis is just objectively worse than the other two when it comes to its internals. Its feed mechanism, its pusher conveyor belt are all. It does not work as well as the other two. So I've had an idea in the back of my mind, and I've kind of keep telling myself it's like, when I settle and I'm not going to move for a while, it will be my project that takes me a year and a half. And that is to make a Prometheus heavy battle rifle. Is to take a Prometheus and do an integration with it, with a stock, and probably not an expanded hopper, just because the top line on the Prometheus does look really nice. But you know, throw a 3S in it, of course. You know, do the ergonomic things that make it a shoulder-fired, you know, actually practical blaster instead of a, I'm sorry, about to spew some heresy, you know, minigun underhand wielded, all but useless piece of junk. I know people are very effective with them. Not my style, not my play style. We'll have fun spraying, but we'll also acknowledge that I'm only going to hit about 1 in 15 rounds efficiency doing that. No matter how much you practice, because you don't have a visual point of reference. Anyway, soapbox, hopping off. Yeah, Prometheus battle rifle would be the one rival build. I'm not a huge fan of rival. I tend to not have the best accuracy personally with rival. Just I don't know why. I just not great with it. For a while, I really enjoyed the was it the Captain's? Is it the Captain's like Hyper? The lever action Captain's like design. The underbarrel tube magazine version of that was very fun for a while, and then I got my Winchester, and it's just kind of like, well, that's it does that better in every way. So sorry, a slab instead of a Lynx. But I don't know. I just landed on Lynx. Couldn't really tell you why. But that's what I did. Come on. Yep, that's kind of my rundown on rival blasters I like. And obviously, proton packs are awesome. But I don't have one. I've only gotten to fire one once. Back at FoamCon 2019. Auto Darts had a demo set up of the whatever the latest prototype was. Yeah. I have a Percy's. The only thing I wish is a longer slide. Exactly. It's just a little too tight. It's a little too small and tight for me to be comfortable running and gunning with it. But you know, it's a good blaster. It's a very good blaster. People run it very well and it's a very effective HvZ blaster, of course. So yeah, I would also love to build, and again, will probably be similar idea of the Prometheus battle rifle. Is I would love to build a deplorable. Just the protein pack fed Vulcan is just awesome. They finally got the Sergeant's Mark II up and running. I saw on Xavier's channel the other day. Looks absolutely awesome in the Elite Blue color scheme. Yeah, still going at it. I'm moving kind of slow and had some persistence, so honestly I'm probably not going to go too much longer. Oh, and I just realized I'm about to mess up. It's technically not the way you're supposed to wire this, but it will work. I was wiring it to cut out my rev switch, which would have been a really bad thing to do. Don't do that, kids. Make sure you have a rev switch for your blaster. Because a great way to not get killed by zombies is for the zombies to not know where you are. And if your blaster's going all the time, you're gonna die. So remember, kids, do better than me at 11:30. Also, for the love of God, heat shrink and electrical tape. Do not short out your blasters. They will be very mad at you. Sorry, let me be more accurate. For the love of whoever or whatever you hold holy. So yeah, we're still going, chugging along. I should be able to get the wiring harness outside of the blaster and functioning tonight. I am quickly running out of spoons, and so I will not have it fitted inside the blaster tonight. But we know our leads are long enough because we've been checking. Now need a male lead. What's your favorite other Nerf content creators? Probably the captain. greatly decreased my amount of nerfing content I take in since I guess now tried and failed to step away from the hobby. But yeah, love the captain. I also like boomstick mods. He's a great guy. I guess he'll be I guess he's probably one of the showrunners for Maryland Mayhem. Well, fan of boomsticks. Also fan of Maritime Foam. He just love his attitude towards things. I like Wallcom. I respect his opinion. He and I play very differently, but he usually has good insight and good opinion on things. So, especially when it comes to new blasters. Also, never try to beat that man to doing a review of a on-the-shelf blaster. You will fail. It was when the rival finisher came out. I found one like 2 days after I saw the announcement in a Walmart, and was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna run home and do a review of this. And yes, I had one of the first reviews up, but Wallcoms went public like 2 hours before mine. And then she had to laugh. Yeah. Oh, and of course, Valor. North Carolina boys unite. He just does the prettiest builds. Aesthetically, I don't think you can beat Valor's builds. But yeah. For the looks, I'd give it to Valor. Nope. Would probably be my short list. Okay. Hopefully that is the jankiest part of this blaster. And there's enough solder through those little linkages of wire that they're practically solid. So our connection should be just fine. Yeah. Here's that switch. Normally open, and go from battery to com. So, anchor point for this, which is our flywheel circuit, but it is spliced into our pusher circuit, is our flywheel cage, of course. And then it runs down under our trigger. Anyway, I shouldn't have taken this out to wire it. I just have to make that hole bigger so that this 60 can pass through it. But yeah. You then and have these two ends of our leads going. I cut that really quickly when I was frustrated. Is that actually enough wire? It is enough wire. Just enough. I don't want to have to redo this. Ooh, here's a question. Can we get funky with our switch placement? We kind of might be able to. I'm not going to. I'm gonna wire it this way. In worst case, I just undo that joint, and when I go to actually mount the thing, we get funky. But for now, I'm gonna do it the way I normally do it. So yeah, it's going on midnight. I guess it is Friday. This isn't the end of the world, but I'm about to be able to plug and play this circuit, and we're gonna test it, and then I want to go. I want to head towards bed. I'm tired. Not afraid to say. It's fine. I should be able to work on this a little bit tomorrow, and then I'll plan on doing another stream Monday, either Sunday or Monday. To actually get this blaster to a state of living and functional. Obviously, we're not going to get to paint on this blaster before UMBC. That ship we would have to be at least sanding it right now for that to be even a remote possibility, which is fine. It just means we'll get more of these live streams later in the summer when I can work on the blaster again. Alright, not that I saw the drawing, but we're probably going to redo that one anyway. That's it for a second. So, let's lay it out. Pusher, cage. Okay. Flywheels are in the blaster. I'll leave them in the blaster. Flywheels. Get plugged in right there. Wow. Our battery, which will come in through the stock, gets plugged in right here, which gives us rev. Now we have our 2 bits of our board, so we get our PWM, which is on the end. Our trigger switch, which is there, and our select fire switch, which is there. This all plugs in. Hold on, I'm on fast. Fast rate of fire. Plugs in there, and then we go battery into control board and power to solenoid. Then, so we are currently dead on trigger, and we have semi-auto. We don't have semi-auto. Uh-oh. Oh, I didn't plug in the battery. Whoo, that made me worry. Okay. Dead trigger. Cool. Semi-auto. Goes. Full auto. Goes. Let's see if I can crank this up anymore. Oh, too fast. How about that? So we have one. Functioning circuit. Nasty jumbled mess, but functioning circuit. And I will take that tonight. That is a win. I'm gonna pull this from the show. And I'm not gonna leave this all plugged together. Okay, so we should be in good shape to actually use this this weekend. I've got, I think, 2 more pieces to print, one of which being the solenoid cage. Then other than that, it's just wire, retention, and buttoning the guy up. Okay, I guess we have to mount the rev switch right down here. But that won't take long, nor will it be hard. That's pretty standard. And then we button her up and we try her out. Well, cool. Well, I'm not gonna stand on ceremony tonight. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for hanging out with me while I worked on this. Thank you for being patient with my ridiculous blunders remembering how to solder. And I'll see you all next time.